Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is Basic Smooth Jazz Guitar 2. If you missed Basic Smooth Jazz Guitar 1, please first check that one. If not, this is the continuation of the previous tutorial. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. So, we're talking about the same track as in the previous tutorial. I'll show you. Really cool one and this easy one. And so on. So what we're doing today is we're checking on different options what we can play on a classic 1-4-5 progression in minor. In this case we are in E flat minor, so we have a 1, E flat minor 7 to A flat minor 7 to E flat minor 7, and at the end B7 altered. Now, how do we treat this really basic progression, but this is the foundation of all progressions in minor? We are playing on the main thing you need to understand once you're starting getting into jazz or smooth jazz is you don't just play like pentatonics like on blues, you start following the chords. And you need to follow the chords even if you're playing pentatonics. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to play pentatonics in combination with following the chords. So let's get started. All right, let's first check the theory. We have 1-4-5 progression, so E flat minor to A flat minor 7, back to E flat minor 7, and to B7 altered. Each 2 bars. I created a track really to practice, so each is 2 bars. You have a lot of time to think and dive into the modes. So you can treat this track as a normal minor blues, and you're gonna play pentatonics. It works. You notice it works, but it doesn't really sound cool because it's the same old stuff you always play on blues or any other track. And since we're entering the world of jazz now, we want to sound more jazzy, so this is only an option to give a little bit color inside your solo. We're coming back to this later, so we skip the pentatonic licks. So what you can do is you play either the blues scale over this track or the bebop scale. The blues scale is just this one here, you probably know it. And now since we're playing jazzy stuff, you need to have these 16 runs starting. And for most players among you, faster speeds are probably too hard, but this one is really slow. I think it's 77 BPM. Now we're gonna play the minor, the blues scale in 16 runs, and it resolves perfectly, just up and down. I'll show you. And it already starts to sound like jazz, even if you just play the blues scale. So that will be a first exercise to start working on, to get the ground speed and really play with alternate picking, and try when you play it, make this motion, you know, this wave. Okay. Try to give a dynamic motion inside the run and just practice it. It's fun. You can do it with this track. It's fun. Oopsie. It resolves perfect. And I already made a little preview on the next one which we're doing. You can also newly add the so-called bebop scale. Well, it's not, it's kind of bebop scale. Beside the flat 5 from the blues scale, we also add this chromatic go through here. So we have an additional note. And also this one resolves perfectly. Up here we do a little trick with the fingering. So it will be like this. Also resolves perfect. That's by the way, the main thing when you do any types of runs, they have to resolve nicely, you know, and this is a way to start to train this. So once you create this ground speed, you can start to add something like this. I mean, you probably don't play the whole scale up and down, but you basically follow this scale, and you can make little parts of this, like something like this. Is part of the blues scale in 16 notes. When you make then combination with the pentatonics, you don't sound like old-fashioned, you sound like jazzy, bluesy, you know. That's with this little run stuff. You can all probably make combinations out of it, something like that. That also resolves. As I said, the run has to resolve itself. So, blues scale again in 16 notes. So that works pretty well. We can also do this one here. It's also cool. You can do this as a repeating one. We just start here in the 11th. All these licks are there to build up your ground speed, that you're able to play 60-note runs. Let's say up to 100 BPM would be a goal, but for most of you guys, that's probably not realistic at the moment. So you need to build up the speed, and you're building it up just by playing slower tracks and getting used to the vibe of playing 60-note runs, because when it gets faster, you don't have time to think anymore. It doesn't go automatically, you know. I'll show you this repeating thing, and that one also has to resolve nicely. Let's see how this works. Something like this. So we repeat this phrase here. And then you come down here and resolve it with the bebop note. See, all chromatic stuff works pretty cool and is nice. Good. I'll show you now. That works, and pulls you out of the pentatonic mashed potato stuff, you know, and now you already start to sound jazzy. But now we didn't fulfill the task to follow the chords. That's the next step now. Follow the chords. Check the previous tutorial if you don't understand how you do that. I cannot explain everything from scratch in each tutorial, so you already know which mode goes with which chords. That just shortly, E flat minor 7 has Aeolian, A flat minor 7 has Dorian, and F7 has Phrygian natural 3. So now we're playing inside the modes, and playing in the modes doesn't mean that you have to play runs. That just means you adapt to each chord. So we're playing a little lick here, this one here, on the E flat minor 7. So now when we analyze this lick, this starts on the 5th, goes to the flat 7, to the 9, to the 11, and back to the 9. So we're playing the options. And we can play this figure only on E flat minor. Now we transpose this figure to A flat minor. So we go. Okay. This is the figure. On the F7 with Phrygian natural 3 or F altered, we play a F augmented arpeggio, which would be, this goes like this, 13, 12, 11. So now let's see how this works. We just follow the chords with these really simple figures. E flat minor. You can choose a rhythm of your choice. At the moment, F. Now you sound pretty jazzy. Back to E flat minor 7. To F. Good. Now you sound pretty jazzy, and the task is not playing fast. The task is to follow the chords and always knowing where you are. I cannot highlight this enough how important that is. If you cannot do this while you're playing, just there's like a thing, you know, just always going while you play. You always need to know where you are to adapt while you're playing. That's the main task, playing any type of jazz stuff, also smooth jazz. Even you can play pentatonics on this, but that's not cool. It will not sound good. Now we make combinations only of this stuff now, and the task is, even if you're playing pentatonics or blues scale where you don't have to know where you are in the tune, you still change between those parts, which I showed. The ones you play blues scale or bebop scale, once you play follow the chords with those simple licks I showed, and then if you are able to do that, you moved on quite a step. So let's do this now. We start with pentatonics. Now we go into blues scale. Already sounds jazzy. Now altered. With the augmented arpeggio. A flat minor. Do you see the variety of stuff you can play now? You mix up the whole stuff, and the task is that even you're mixing with the different ingredients which you have in your smooth jazz kitchen. Even if you're mixing the ingredients, you always need to know where you are. That's the main thing. You can play pentatonics for a while and then suddenly you switch to the chords. That's also cool. But if you play only pentatonic, that's ain't cool. Not cool, dude. Not cool. But if you can do all of it, then you're the cool guy and you don't need to play many notes. The main task in all types of jazz improvisation is that you always know where you are and you follow the thing. And in this tutorial we're just learning 1, 4, 5 in minor. So you can also check it here: E flat minor 7 to A flat minor 7 to B7. So 1, 4, 5. This is a 1, 4, 5 progression, the most important one. We also have major progressions, of course. We also will check that out later. But most guitar guys are coming from minor improvisation, and there this mostly goes along with pentatonic stuff you already know, and you just can start to play and just add these little spots. Yo guys, that was basic smooth jazz guitar 2. Second tutorial of a full series where you're gonna really learn smooth jazz from the beginning, you know, from the beginning of an intermediate blues guitar player who knows pentatonics. And now we're taking it to the next level and starting to learn smooth jazz and smooth jazz progressions just from that point. So if you love this stuff here and you want to work with the material which I created here, it's all written down what I was talking about, plus this backing track. Please join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. There you find all the stuff for download for premium members, and also subscribe to my channel. And await the next tutorial. Is going to be a full series, and if you missed the first tutorial, you've also found the link in the description box to the previous tutorial, and then we're pretty much ready to go. That's all me and Dr. Pink are having to say. Please join the Academy, free member account, premium member account, whatever, join the guitar community and dive into the world of smooth jazz.